Hi, this is Josanne Wright Callender, and I am the author of The Happy Little Garbage Truck. It's a picture book and educational program. I've not been on YouTube for a while. I'm working on another project and also preparing some platforming to get my book a little bit more in other teachers' hands and also into the hands of children. And I'm also working on my newsletter to share what has happened in this last 3 months. So if you're interested in subscribing to my newsletter, just uh, get in touch with me via direct mail, and I'll leave the email connection in the description box too. But today, I'm here to talk about fine motor skills. And I ran across this really great article. It was entitled Nine Reasons Fine Motor Skills Are Important in Early Childhood. But what I discovered is that these early childhood benefits have a tremendous impact on a child's academic life throughout their life. And so this is written by Tanja McElroy, and she did a great job of describing each of the areas that I had begun describing that were part of the fine motor skill development, and like the small motors, small muscles in the body, which could help the child with their eyes, eye control, fingers, eye-hand coordination, hands, tongue, and toes. And I said, wow, I didn't realize that, of course, because the brain actually helps a child develop all of these skills as it develops. And as the child develops, these parts of the brain also develop, as I said, the red nucleus that was part of the midbrain is part of this these components too, but it's all brain work. And she went on to say to screw a jar, to eat with a knife and fork. And I remember as a child, I had the most difficult time with knives and forks. And I would just say, why can't I just eat with my fingers? My mother says, well, when you go to the restaurant, people will be looking at you and they would, be kind of judging you in your ability to eat with a knife and fork. So to this day, I'm still challenged because it's like that old tape is playing in my mind, which I have, really almost extinguished because I was looking at how the British eat with their knives and forks. And I said, that's so much more functional. You don't have to keep switching hands. So anyway, there's always a way to help a child, and having options and examples of how they can, like my mother always said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Not a great saying these days, but it really does make sense. There are other options. And so when I was looking at this article, she was talking about in the fine motor and the gross motor skills that a child is developing. And then she says that the skills do not develop. This is the point that I wanted to make today. The skills do not develop independently. They're collectively developing as the brain develops. And the body, all the parts must work together to affect each other. And so I was thinking about that, and I said, okay, so how does that translate into academic achievement? Well, tracking as you look at something, your eyes have to track, say, like the teacher's reading, and noticing the child notices that she's always going from left to right as she's uh, pointing out words in a sentence. And then the child's able to track from left to right in their books and papers. And the control, fine motor control of the pencil as they're copying these letters, and then crossing the midline, which was something that physical therapist was talking about, was so important because it helps, and the occupational therapist as well. It helps the child's when you cross the midline, it helps to connect both hemispheres of the brain, and that also is fine motor control. You're able to do things without losing your balance. It has effect, and I think that's the next detail that I'll talk about, the midline, which was like something that I didn't know as a teacher, but it's so important as a child is growing to be able to do this. And we would do like a lazy eight circle to help them develop the midline crossing of their brain as they were doing activities, just warm up activities. And then also call it cross crawl, where you hit the opposite knee with the opposite hand as a physical therapy and exercise routine. So the next time we get back, I'm going to talk about the crossing the midline and how academic success is assisted by a child learning these different fine and gross motor control activities and how we can assist the child in developing those skills. So, thank you for being with me today. And I will see you a little bit later, maybe later on in this week. But have a wonderful day and please share, please subscribe. God bless. Bye bye.